First of all, I want to start from thank you. I feel very privileged to be in a position to share some of my work here with you and to be in a company of friends who I haven't seen in a while. My journey into architecture was quite straightforward. It was a result of me trying to find the discipline which brought together creative science, aesthetics, and people. During my bachelor degree in Belarus, we organized a team called Shitsa Architects. Usually students cannot get commission for an architectural project to build something because of the lack of experience. And we started exploring and experimenting with architecture ourselves. We could do so because we had a very broad and community of specialists around us. Therefore, we was able to design, find investments, and eventually build project that we thought was important. Actually, the first one that I want to share was done under the mentorship of church. It's the first public space that we found investments and built with volunteers. It was an autonomous public space in Minsk. It had solar panels, bar, and greenery inside. After this project, we understood that architecture is more than just a business. Every architect is approaching architecture only after the client's request, and we decided that we cannot do this, and we should analyze cities, we should find problems, and eventually find investors and opportunities to build what we think architects should build, and implement things that we should implement where it's needed. Therefore, we started exploring the opportunities that community can give. We started to build different small-scale projects for public spaces, mostly temporary ones. This one was a platform in International Architectural School in Belarus. We built a swimming platform as an extension of public space to extend the perception of the surrounding by swimming on the lake. And it was also built with community of students. The next project was built for the new design week. It's called Sky is the Limit. It was a pavilion consists of cells which creates a path with ambient music and openings from above. We wanted to isolate people from the surrounding noise and show them that overconsumption is not only the thing that we should focus ourselves on, and this was the time to reflect on the life. Also was built with students from all over the world. After these projects, we understood that community is a very, very powerful tool for changes, and we started to grow our network of people that wanted to make changes and not only to wait for requests from clients. This project was the most recent one. We built a pavilion on the mats. It's International School of Architecture. This year it was in Spain, in Zaragoza, and the topic of the school was wind. I was using wind as a tool to shape our architecture, and in order to see wind patterns and wind courses and speeds, we created these tiles that can be changed their colors by the rotation. Next very important part of my work is public spaces. After the Belarusian University, I moved to Israel for 3 years to get some experience. And luckily, I got a commission to build a public space in the center of Tel Aviv. It was an abandoned utilitarian area under the shopping mall, full of cars without people. Everyone was just passing through. We was working on this project from early concept to the final detailing and choice of materials and supervision. And now it's a very vibrant public area which attracts a lot of people. You can find everything in this area, and for example, behind this amphitheatre, there are meeting rooms which can be rented by public, chargers, a lot of greenery. Even though it is inside of the shopping mall and it is under the roof. Greenery makes people feel that it is outside and people feel quite free there. After I completed this project, it was very important. I got, after 3 years of trying, I got tuning scholarship and I was able to move to London for a year to study in the Architectural Association School of Architecture. I just recently accomplished my master's degree in emerging technologies and design program. And I want to share some approaches, some very important approaches that we took on board to continue working with. The first one I want to show is evolutionary architecture and how you use it and how we use it in our projects sometimes. The aim of evolutionary architecture is to create a generation of morphologies that are optimized according to certain fitness or evaluation criteria. For example, in this project, we were optimizing the location of public spaces on the skyscraper. We was optimizing location of public spaces, their regionality, their views, depths, and areas, of course. After the simulation, we got a number of optimized solutions that we were able to develop further into the second stage of sequential simulation. We was simulating the facade system, optimizing the opening size of the openings and the location of the private and public areas inside the apartments. After such a process, you have a number of very optimized solutions that can be further developed and detailed for construction purposes, of course. What is important here is that we were optimizing these according to local environmental conditions. We was considering sun that was creating shadows. We was creating. We was measuring shadows and footprint on the ground and also areas. And this is the result that we got after all these simulations. The next and very important one is my thesis project. The altered environmental conditions of today can no longer be mastered with architectural resources of the past. This project was, This project is about very important aspects. It is interesting because it was quite revolutionary even for my master program for emerging technologies and design. We got a lot of resistance from our tutors in the beginning of our journey, but was important for us to develop it further. And this project is about fragmentation of nature landscape and all consequences that it can cause, such as heat islands effect, overheating or CO2 emissions and biodiversity loss, species loss. There are a lot of consequences connected with this. And what was important is to develop a system that they're using not traditional architectural approaches, such as just to put more greenery. We wanted to connect isolated greenery in the cities in order to give to species, to air, to plants opportunities to develop more and to take out our pollutions. We developed 4 different modules. The first one was production protection, to serve to accommodate species not only as plants but also species as insects in order to maintain biodiversity. The next one was filtration production. We was producing biofuel biomass from algae, and each module was consisting from living tissue structures that was filtrating CO2 emissions. Living tissue structure is a structure from sawdust material that I will talk later. about structure from solid material, and we accommodate living tissue on top, particularly moss. Then next module is collection filtration. This module serves to maintain the performance of other modules, providing them with water for the performance, as well as filtration and absorbing the excess water from water collection. And the final one is filtration. Consists of a few membranes and living tissue structure, capturing particulate matter and CO2 emissions, of course. We developed a new type of material, consists of sawdust mixture with yeast. It was important for us to achieve a high level of porosity because we had to maintain enough water inside of the material as well as provide space for roots and insects. We had various number of iterations in order to develop the material itself. And we got some impressive results. 150 grams piece was able to carry 18 kilograms. What is quite impressive for a material consisting of yeast and sawdust. After, for the first module, we was doing biodegradable planters consisting of the same material but without yeast. Here you can see some experiments with extrusion of this material. Of course, we was testing each one for their performance computationally and physically. Here you can see the performance of different membranes to capture particulate matter. And at the end of all this, we developed a network that was connected existing green patches in the city. It was considering local environmental conditions, places where we need more shadow, less shadow, where we need to increase the speed of the wind or decrease it, for example, and was also considering the empty spots on the facades and to, in order to be able to connect and sustain itself. We also, of course, testing different options, different number of growth points, different number of connectors, and after we was optimizing location of each module inside the system. After the generation of the network, we, of course, were testing the performance of it. It's actually considered to be very successful, but even more than we thought. It can absorb a big amount of carbon dioxide, almost reducing to zero the carbon dioxide emissions that is currently levels that London has in this area. And but at the same time creating public spaces for people. The system is not the system is adapting to the new conditions and changes during the day as well as during the months and year. It can adapt to needed sun location and sun conditions as well as to find shadows where it's needed. It is second layer to the existing architecture. It is not traditional architectural project. It is a project on a scale of infrastructure. That is why it's so important for our environment to have these projects to survive in the current stage. And now, so what is now? I already finished this master's degree, and now we opened our studio called Yet Architecture. We consider why it is Yet Architecture, because for us everything is architecture, and we want to create architecture not only in the classical sense, but we want to create architecture for more than a human world and impact not only human but also other species. Everything is architecture. You're very welcome to follow us and to search to see our journeys. Thank you a lot. That's all.